Sometimes it's the little things in life that are fun to play with. We're going to do some sublimation today on some little stuff. Got an assortment of things. We're going to talk about it, show you how we're going to do it, and give a few examples coming up. Hi, I'm Roger. Welcome to the loft above the shop, and today I'm going to be doing some sublimation onto a bunch of small items. This right here would be a key tag or a luggage tag. You can use it either way, and it comes with a split ring, but you don't want the split ring on it when you're doing the sublimation. That would be one item. Another item is a dog tag, and this particular one is double-sided, so I could put the graphics on both sides. Next item is a cell phone case for an iPhone, and the way this works, you have a plastic case, and then there's an adhesive on here that you peel off. Your sublimation is done on this piece of coated aluminum, and we're going to be doing one of those. And I have a few other items. I'm not going to do all of these today, but I have cases for like an AirPod 3 where you sublimate onto the different parts, and you can put your AirPods in those. Got a couple of those. I do have some other cell phone cases for some other products. And I have some sublimation paper to try out here. This is from Inkscape USA. That's where all these products have come from. And there'll be a link in the description to their market. They have a tremendous number of sublimation blanks, and some of them are quite unique. You just don't see it everywhere. One of them happens to be some burlap coasters, but that's going to be a video dedicated auto itself because those are actually double-sided. I'm going to have some fun with those, and I have someone we're making some for, and so I have several sets of them I'm going to be using. And no, those were not given to me. I bought those. So Inkscape did supply me with this paper though to try out, and a couple of these little miscellaneous items here. So we're going to go on. I'm going to show you how I'm making the graphics for all these little projects. Okay, so where are my graphics coming from? Well, I kind of put a bunch of them together on a sheet of paper here. Since this is a bunch of little items, I decided to get as many of these small items as I could onto one sheet of paper. So all I need to do now, and this is in a program called Inkscape, and if you're not familiar with this, it is free. And you can go to Inkscape.com and download a copy, and you can do quite a bit with this, with manipulating different types of graphics files. And I'm kind of fond of this program. So all we need to do here, down here to print. And in this case, I'm going to use my Epson 2720. I just have to find it. There it is. We want to go to Preferences in this case. Premium Presentation Paper Matte. I always do a print preview. We want high quality. Of course, we do not want two-sided printing. So the next thing I always do is go to More Options. We need to mirror this because we're going to be sublimating it onto some other items. Just click OK. Click Print. And I'll get a preview here to make sure everything is as it should be, and it is. Everything is mirrored. All we need to do then is hit print, and it sends it to the printer. Okay, hot off the printer right there. I'll let this sit and dry for a little while. Make sure that ink is well set into the coating on the paper. And this is sublimation paper. This isn't just copy paper. And this is mirrored, and it's done with sublimation ink. And this was done on my Epson 2720. I also have a Sawgrass SG-1000 on the other side of the loft up there, but I have that reserved pretty much for just very large projects because the ink for that is very expensive. So my next step here will be to cut these different graphics out. I could start sticking things on here all over and taping them down, but I'm not going to do it that way in this case. I'm going to do these separate. I may press them all at once. I'm going to be using one of the heat presses over yonder there. We'll get over to that in a minute because they all have the same time and temperature. The Inkscape does give you recommended times and temperatures for their products, and I'm going to use those. We'll find out how well those work. It's 360 degrees for the key tag and the dog chain and the blank for the cell phone case. It's all 360 degrees for 45 seconds. So let me get these cut apart. We'll get some stuff going. Okay, the next thing I need to do is to get everything in place. This here's a graphic for one of these cell phone covers. I've cleaned this. Made sure it was all good and squeaky clean. There was no plastic coating on it. Because I made that mistake once and tried to sublimate onto something that had a plastic film on it, and that did not turn out so well. So what we have here, we have a cutout for the camera. And on this graphic here, I've got to kind of figure out a little bit what part of the graphic is going to get cut out of the picture. I don't want to get into any of the letters. So I guess we'll lose a little bit of the flower down there. And a couple pieces of heat tape there. Hold it in place. Yeah, I do have one other little project down there. This is a refrigerator magnet for my great-granddaughter. This did not come from InnoSub, but since I'm running some small objects today, I'm adding that in with them. So it'll go on the heat press with everything else. So I'll take one of these key tags here and get my little starfish guy. I look at this just right. I should be able to see, whoop, get it on the right side. Should be able to see through it well enough. Get it centered. And I should have left a little more paper on that, but I think a couple pieces of heat tape over here should hold that fine. Just to keep it from shifting. If your project shifts, you'll get what they call ghosting. Yeah, maybe I'll sneak another little one on there, that side. You could sublimate on both sides of this. I'm only going to do one side here. Well, obviously going to do one side at a time. I'll set that one off to the side. Next is my dog tag here. This is a double-sided dog tag. You can do both sides of it. They also offer a single-sided one. This is pretty easy to get lined up there. So there's that one. And I have one more cell phone case I'm going to do here. Got it set. Okay, so over here at the heat press, we'll get everything set on there. I think there's enough room here to get everything on. There's a Teflon sheet on the bottom, and on top of that is a piece of parchment paper. And you definitely want to do this with the sublimation paper side up. There's other little parts and pieces in here. You could also do this individually if you like. And we'll lay a piece of parchment paper on top. Why am I using this heat press instead of one of the other ones? Well, this particular clamshell one actually heats up the quickest. So we'll clamp this down 360 degrees for 45 seconds. That's medium pressure on there. It's beeping, time must be up. The reason I'm using parchment paper instead of butcher paper in this case is because nothing sticks to it. We'll take these off of here and let them cool. You definitely want to let these cool before you, especially these aluminum things, you grab them when they're hot, you're really going to know it. And our peace and love cover. Our done is better than perfect cover for the cell phone cases. My little snorkeling starfish. And another snorkeling starfish. This is one side of our dog tag. I'm going to do the other side with it flipped the other way. And that's my little refrigerator magnet with different colored pants. So I'll get this prepped to do it the other way, and maybe we'll throw a starfish onto the other side of one of those. Yeah, we'll stick these on there. Okay, these should have cooled down now by now. Heat tape peeled off. So there's our little starfish guy. Nice little keychain. Could also be used as a luggage tag. And my up and down dog tag, and this was done on purpose. If you're from the 70s or like I am, early 70s, love and peace. Love and peace. So what's left to finish these up? Oh, not a whole lot. Let's start out with a little dog tag thing here. Got a little bead chain. So I can go back to my hippie days, I guess. With these here, little key fobs or luggage tags, however you want to use them. It's just a matter of putting the little split rings on them. Oh, there we are, just like that. Of course, the refrigerator magnet, I just put the magnet backing on it. Pretty simple thing. Now for the cell phones, I'll just grab one of these here. Move these guys out of the way. Well, there is a film on here that covers an adhesive. You remove. You just line everything up very carefully. Oh, there's our cell phone case. Getting back to the peace and love thing from the 70s. And like I said, this is for an iPhone. And I've got one more to do here. This one is on a black case. Still got a piece of heat tape remaining on there to get rid of. Here again, it's the same process. So if you're looking for something to sell at, let's say, craft shows or that type of thing, these are not that expensive. And pretty much everybody is after a cell phone case. I have two cell phones, carry them both in OtterBox cases because I'm so hard on them. This type of case is fine for the backs and everything, but I tend to, because of what I do and working in the shop and the nursery and the greenhouses, if I don't have that face covered too, I break it. So there's our two cell phone covers. Well, there's just a few of the little things in life you can make in sublimation and don't cost you much money. I'm losing my spectacles, there we go. And they're easy, they're simple. InnoSub USA, which is where these little sample things came from, also have templates on their website if you want to use an exact template. I tend to do all my creations within Inkscape or in CorelDRAW or Publisher or something like that, but most of the time in Inkscape because I can manipulate everything I need to do right in there. And there again, that's free software. I'm not sponsored by them, I just like their software. So if you got anything out of this, appreciate getting a thumbs up, always helps the channel. And there again, there'll be a link in the description. If you'd like to get any of these items from InnoSub, they have a tremendous number of things you can use for sublimation, so they're worth taking a look at. I'm Roger in the shop, actually in the loft above the shop. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.